to the Adventure of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
Well, bitch, you crazy. You never did listen, that's why you don't get a love song. Well, is it on the tip of your tongue?
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio here at Rocklahoma, and I'm here with...
Dime Store Riot.
Yes, again.
Dime Store Riot.
Yeah, I love it. And so, how's it feel to be at fucking Rocklahoma, man?
It's great to be back at Rocklahoma. This is our second year here. Our first year as a band was last year. We got to come out and play the show, and they invited us back again this year. So it's really, really fun to be back again.
And that's why I said again.
Other than the heat.
Yeah, the heat's brutal, but that's every year.
It is.
And we're right now in a code yellow. Did you know that?
I
Do you
did
know
not
what
know
that
that
means?
I have no clue.
Code yellow is be prepared to evacuate.
Really?
Code red is evacuate.
Holy crap.
So I have had a habit of having evacuations in the middle of interviews multiple times. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time.
Hope not.
So tell us what it felt like when you got invited back to Rocklahoma, because it's one thing to get it the first time,
Right.
but then to get invited back, that means you did something really fucking good.
Well, a lot of bands in town we're friends with and we know, and a lot of them were like, oh, we got decline. We got our decline, sent to us email like we're not playing Rocklahoma. And everybody started saying that. We're like, well, we haven't heard anything.
Huh.
So we didn't know, and we were actually recording our album. We were in the studio when we found out. And we've Doug, DEB concert stage, he was like, oh, by the way, you guys are not playing Rocklahoma. And we were like, what? Oh, man, like we didn't hear words, so we thought maybe there was hope, there was something. And we were like, oh, my gosh, and that went for 2 days? Yeah, it was like a couple days, and we're like, oh, we're not playing. And then he comes back and like, oh, by the way, you're playing Rocklahoma. It was like,
Nice.
We were so fooled. It was funny. It was
So
great.
was he really trying to fool you, or did it change over that 2 days?
Yeah. Who knows? It could go either way.
Right?
I mean,
I mean,
who
that's
knows?
what I would do. I would like to fuck with you just for fun.
Well, he's a jokester, so
Right.
it's in his wheelhouse to do something like that.
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking I would do the same thing, man.
Right.
Let him sweat it out a little more. It's just for good fun.
Well, last year we got added on as a late add-on, so we weren't on any of the merch last year, which was a bummer,
Yeah.
because we like to buy that stuff and have it as memorabilia, for things like that. So being actually on the merch this year and part of Rocklahoma officially, all the lead up to it and everything like that, all the media blitz. So it's been really cool.
I love that. And merch is the most important thing to a band in 2024.
I think so. I think it is.
That's the only way you make money.
Right.
And I say it every time because I want listeners to know, because I think they still think that you guys get out there, you're having the dream life, and record labels are throwing money at you, and
Nope.
that's just not how it happens.
No, and you gotta have good merch too.
Yeah.
Diversify a little bit, get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, see what works for you as a band, and if it works, get more of it.
So tell us about your merch.
So we've got a couple of different T-shirts. We've got our old school T-shirts with our original logo on it. We've got some new school T-shirts with our skull logo on it. We diversified a little bit this year and got some tie-dye shirts for the festival.
That's cool.
And then we grabbed some hats. Now, here at the festival, they only allow you to have, two types of T-shirts and one other item. So we didn't get to bring all of our merch, but we got to bring a little bit of it. But we also have rubber shot glasses that are unbreakable. We've got stickers. We've got koozies. We've got bandanas. So, I mean, we've got a good assortment of merchandise, a little something for everybody at a good price point. So, Yeah, band photos and stuff like that. So
for the stuff you don't have here at Rocklahoma, or people that aren't even here at Rocklahoma, tell me how they get to your merch store and buy this stuff.
So you can go to our website at dimestoreriotband.com, and then there at the top of the page there's going to be a link that says merch, I believe. I think it says merch. And you just click on that and you can order online. It's really simple.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's your favorite piece of merch of your guys?
Well, the hats are good. I've got one on right now. You can see it right here.
There it is.
Yeah. So the hats are good. I was the one that pushed for the shot glasses and the bandana, so I'm probably leaning a little more toward those myself. But everything's good. The T-shirts are awesome. They're made out of good material. We didn't cut costs on anything. We got the good stuff. So
I think that's important to mention too.
yeah.
Because one of my biggest peeves is people that buy shirts outside a festival.
Yeah.
And, do you realize that stuff's garbage? Besides the fact that you're not supporting the band and you're
Right.
doing something illegal, it's garbage.
Yeah.
And what I find is when you get the real merch from the band, it's good shit that it's going to last you more than one wash.
Exactly. It's not the print's not going to wash off in one
Right.
wash.
Yeah, exactly. I've had shirts like when I was younger and I didn't have any money and I had to buy the cheap ones outside from the hackers.
Yeah.
They'd have one wash, holes,
Mhm.
faded, too small now, you
Yeah.
know. Buy the real shit. Besides that, the band works so freaking hard. They need to get paid.
I mean, that's literally where we make our money at. So when we do shows, we're not working for much, but the merchandise is where you really make your bread and butter. So it's really good to have a good assortment of merch. Push that merch as hard as you can during your set, and you can actually clear, a couple $100,000, during the show.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so the live show, for anybody that's never seen you guys live, what did they miss that they could have caught at Rocklahoma?
At Rocklahoma, we really cater to the fans, I mean, we do it at other shows too, but more so here. It's more of an intimate thing. I try to, as a vocalist, I try to make sure I'm making eye contact with everybody, calling people from the back of the tent or the stage, get them forward, get them, closer. We can have that intimate moment with them and make that connection, because that's what it's all about. Because without your fans, what are you? You're just playing some music.
Yeah.
You gotta have those people supporting you. So we try to make those connections, and like I said, we do that at all our shows. But more so here, we really try to, we're here for the full weekend. We're not a fly-in, do our show and leave. We're set up at the campgrounds. We're partying all weekend with everybody, making those connections.
Nice.
And people notice that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
What did you want to say?
I just wanted to say, something that people miss if they're not coming out to see us. And I know that we've talked about it as a band, where's this band has a different energy than we've ever had before. And that energy portrays out on the stage. And when we play, our show is just high energy. And you can definitely tell a difference amongst other bands. We just get out there and we give it our all every single time, and it's worth coming to see for sure.
Yeah, and I think you always got to see a band live. Like them, dislike them, doesn't matter. I have bands that I didn't like, and then I saw them live, and I'm like, oh my God.
That's what CJ's been saying all weekend. He's got bands that he thought weren't going to be good, but when he saw them live, they changed his mind. So, that happens. You come out to a show, you may not like one song that you maybe heard on Spotify or you caught on a radio or something, but come out to a show and see the actual show, and we'll make you a believer. And a lot of bands are like that. They'll make you a believer in their live show.
What bands is he talking about? Some of them that you've had that conversion.
Well, Lamb of God was one. It was a little too much for me originally. I'm more just a hard rock melodic guy. But then I saw them live, and the clarity of how clean they play and be so heavy. Most bands, they just clutter it up. It's just a wall of just noise and distortion, and there's no articulation. And Lamb of God can play that heavy with that much going on, and you can still hear every instrument crystal clear. So I was, as a musician, really impressed and blown away when I saw those guys. So that'd be one. Another one, my wife here, Paulette, drugged me to a revivalist show, and they were okay. You know, I listened to some of their stuff on the radio, and I went because of her, but they put on a phenomenal live show. They blew me away, made me a fan just seeing them live.
I think live shows dispel, based on what you said, kind of what you think in your head, this visual you have in your head.
Right.
Because there's some shows that I've had to cover as a radio person. I'm like, this ain't my jam.
Right.
And then I get there, I'm like, oh, I get it now.
Right.
Like the shit that I would make, you really go to that? And then they're like, go there. Okay, I'll go. And then I'm like,
Well,
holy shit.
There's an exchange live that doesn't happen over the radio, where if I see you in the crowd, we make eye contact, I'm giving you my energy.
Yeah.
Are you going to give it back? And that's an exchange that you just can't get from listening to a CD or something on Spotify. You might like a band, but that's what the magic of playing live is, and going to see bands live, is you get to share energy with them.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's the thing, too. Like, memories happen at a show. Like, there's some things that have happened to me in my life at a show that I'm like, lifelong memories that aren't going to come from the album. Looks like he wants you to tell us. I hear that. So, what's your either best or worst story happening at Rocklahoma, whether it be last year or this year? And when I say worst, not about Rocklahoma itself, but, you know, shit happens.
Yeah. So last night I was cooking some cheeseburgers, and I wasn't paying attention, and I spun around and gave myself a black eye walking into the damn RV.
I was wondering where that came from. I was gonna ask you if maybe you stepped into the pit or something.
No, it literally cooking some cheeseburgers, spun around, walked right into the RV arm, about knocked myself silly. So I've got to sport this little Shiner all day. That's pretty cool.
Wow. And can I say that I saw somebody last night go flying off a golf cart, and you look worse than they do.
I'm sure. Well, you know, I wear it well.
It's very rock and roll, though. What you got going on after Rocklahoma?
We've got our CD release party coming up at the Venue Shrine in Tulsa, October 5th. We're bringing in some bands from Kansas, really good guys that we were on tour with. 9 Left Dead and 11 After. Yeah, so those guys are really good guys, and they put on a really good show, so we brought them in. And we've also got, we're playing with Kill Devil Hill in San Antonio.
Nice.
On 9/19. I think that's our next show, actually. We have Lost Lakes Festival, and then we've got Rock the Equinox on 9/27. We've got Mike Tramp of White Lion. We're playing with him at Legends in Chickasha, Oklahoma on 10/16. And, yeah, so that's what we've got coming up in the next couple shows.
Is there a band you haven't played with that we're going to give a shout-out to that need to put you on a tour with?
Man.
Yeah, Dirty Honey.
There you go.
We want to go on tour with you guys. Them or Blackstone Cherry, I think we would be great fits. Mammoth would be another one, but any of those bands.
So you could have like a foursome. Could be you guys, Mammoth, Dirty Honey, you know, Blackstone Cherry.
I mean, anybody with a good following that we've kind of jive with and fit with, I mean, we'd be down to do some stuff with. So
now you said what you did about Lamb of God. What if Lamb of God came to you and said, hey, you want to go on the road with us?
Oh, they're fans who hate us. I mean, I love those guys, and I like diverse music, but I don't think the Lamb of God crowd would be into like what we do. We're more melodic hard rock. Yeah. I'm imagining we get a lot of batteries thrown at us and called all kinds of beautifully colorful names.
That's part of the fun too, isn't it?
I mean, it's part of a band, you know, earning their way, but I think we're better fits with some other genres.
Well, so I do know a band that happened to in the Bay Area. This unknown band at the time called not Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains. playing with Metallica and Exodus.
Yeah.
And yes, you're going to get booed.
Yes.
And you're going to get, but then, now look what happened.
No, right?
So maybe it's good sometimes.
It is good sometimes.
So tell everybody how they reach you guys on socials, on the web, all that good stuff.
Well, we're on all the social media. Dime Store Riot. You can search that and find most of them, but dimestoreriotband.com. That's another way. We're on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all of those things people like to do. We're on all the streaming services, so we would really appreciate it if you checked it out. You like us, give us a follow, give us a like, play the song, share them with people that you think would be into it.
Well, I'm into it, so my listeners better be into it or they can't listen to my show.
Right on.
It's simple as that. You guys rock, and you I'm so happy you're here at Rocklahoma. This is your festival. Not only because you're nearby, but this festival, embodies music like yours, in my opinion.
This is my 10th year of coming out to Rocklahoma.
Wow.
My first year, 11, but they didn't have it in 2020 because of COVID. But my first year was 2013. And I've been coming ever since. I've played out here. This is my 5th time playing at Rocklahoma.
Wow.
Different band, but this will be my 5th show out here.
What do you love most about Rocklahoma?
Just the people, man, and just the atmosphere. The vibe is super chill. You go out there and go to any campsite, and they just welcome you. They'll welcome you in. You go have drinks with people and just make friends.
Yeah, especially if you go get some shots at some of the campsites.
100%. They've got plenty of them out here.
Absolutely. And I just want to tell you that, this is one of the most fun camping festivals, in my opinion.
A lot of people say that,
As media, I don't normally camp, but I always have to camp Rocklahoma. And to your point about the people, the neighbors I have in the campground every year are, amazing, number one. Number two, something happened last night and this morning that proves how great Oklahoma people are and Rocklahoma people are. My friend lost her phone, and the people texted this morning saying they had the phone.
Nice.
And charged it for her.
Wow, they went above and beyond.
They didn't even just give it back. Let's charge it for you before you give it back. I think I might lose my phone tonight so that it comes back fully charged.
That's funny.
Anything else you guys want to tell the listeners we haven't covered already?
Just check us out. We're an up-and-coming band. We've only been together for a little over a year, but, we're on the rise, and we're not going anywhere. So check us out, Dime Store Riot. dimestoreriotband.com. You can buy merch. You can get on there. We have posts that we put on there, shows we're doing, stuff like that. So just follow us, hit those like buttons, and we'll see you out there.
Well, you guys rock. Thanks for coming and doing this interview because it's hot as hell, and you guys had to kill it and then starve and dehydrate, and here you are. So that proves how great you guys are.
Thank you.
And thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.